Hello, I'm Asif Farouk of Finextra and I'm here today with Sue Langley, CEO of the UK Trade and Investment Financial Services Organisation. So Sue, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So how would the UK government define FinTech?
Well, UKTI is the business development arm of the government, so we define it in its widest sense. So it is any technology that has financial connotations. We do split it down into two, so we tend to have the traditional companies that service those existing financial institutions, and then we have the newer, more innovative, more disruptive players.
So the UKTI recently published this report which is setting out the strength of UK's FinTech sector, but what is it about the UK that makes it such a desirable location for FinTech growth?
Well, I think the UK is a brilliant location. The report's available online, but it actually shows that the current FinTech industry is worth over 20 billion. And if you look at some of the stats, since 2008, we've seen a growth of over 8 times of companies investing in the UK, which globally, in terms of investment, that makes us the world leader. But I think that's because when you look at some of our strengths, I mean, we've got a great location, we've got a great regulatory environment, we use English law, we have a hugely sophisticated customer base here, and also the UK government fully backs FinTech, so I think it's a fantastic area.
How does the UK's financial services sector help this growing FinTech sector?
Well, I think our financial services sector is crucial. It accounts for just under 10% of the GDP and it employs a huge number of people. FS in the UK employs over 1 million people. People tend to think that's in London, but it's not. Over 2/3 of those employees are outside of London. London itself, of course, is the leading international centre for finance. We have a huge number of financial institutions here, and that gives us such a breadth and depth of skills and resources that I think that's unrivalled.
Okay, what do you believe is the general UK attitude then towards these new financial models?
I think we've got a really open attitude towards those models. I mean, it helps that we've got a great sound infrastructure in place, but I think our consumers are very innovative. An interesting thing for me is that we tend to spend much more on e-commerce than we do in other areas of Europe and in the US. And we're actually finding for those companies who are actually setting up here or coming over to invest, it's not only to work with the consumers, but it's to be part of that FinTech environment and work with each other.
Okay, and why is UKTI making such concerted efforts to work with companies in the FinTech sector?
I would say 3 main reasons. One, the government recognises that it's really important strategically to make sure we keep the UK's place as the preeminent financial centre. Secondly, I think that it actually represents real jobs and growth. It's good for the economy. And thirdly, because it brings benefits for the consumers, because after all, the UK is all about innovation.